August new moon is all about connectivity, creativity, and empowerment. This August new moon is a powerful one. The magnetic pull is creating a lot of emotional charges within people in order to get people to become more in alignment with their empowerment, creativity, connection, strength, vulnerability, and courage. In order to do so, however, a lot of things on the opposite side of the spectrum need to come to the surface, because that is essentially the magnetic pull of this dark new moon. It is pulling from the unconscious. It is pulling from the shadow. It is pulling from that darkness, from that deep, deep, deep darkness. And what is included within that darkness? Disconnection, disempowerment, powerlessness, victimhood. And interestingly enough, what's coming through with this new moon, this dark new moon, is the ego. The ego is actually playing a really important role right now. And what it's doing is it's actually taking a step back in order for you to better understand yourself from a point of inner truth and inner empowerment. However, and we'll go a little bit more into this, but there is an imprint of ego that has occurred through all this time in which you have been allowing your ego to lead. And so the energy of the ego is still an imprint that is trying to take control or hold on to control, even if ego itself has taken a step back. And so that's really what's adding to a lot of the emotional charge, the push and pull, and the inner power struggle between your inner truth and your external expectation, where the ego resides. Again, there is a power struggle between external expectation and internal truth, which is creating strong emotional charges. The ego is taking a step back in order to allow inner truth to flow. But again, the imprints of the ego energy are trying to hold strong for those who let external expectations lead. Inner truth rising feels very uncomfortable for a lot of people because it goes against the illusionary sense of self that they have built for themselves after all this time. And after all this time, allowing that illusionary sense of self to lead, the external expectations, the ego, all of that is often at this point all they know. So that's why when the inner truth rises, it feels very uncomfortable because they do not know it. However, the truth will emerge whether you like it or not. And how much suffering goes on is dependent upon how a person is able to ease and surrender through the discomfort or resist and struggle through it. Change is imminent and is always uncomfortable. To be able to adapt is the ultimate superpower right now and will become your strength through all storms. This new moon is breaking through many old layers within, layers some of you have never been to before. It is ancient stuff. It's very, very old. It is a transition between internal and external, a shedding of an internal layer into your external environment. So it showed me a vision of a snake shedding its skin, and it projects that inner layer as external reality. So because many of you are shedding deep unwanted layers, you may also be experiencing deep unwanted things. Behind everything is a mirror of thought, and within the mirror is a reflection of you. You are more powerful than you realize, and your thoughts magnify that power. So this is a transformation into intentional thought. Your thoughts create your reality, yes, but many of you have thoughts that do not reflect the reality that you're wanting to create. So why do you get caught up in thoughts that are misaligning? The reason is because your thoughts are a mirror of not only external but internal. It reflects to you where your internal embodiment is at, as well as how you are absorbing your external environment. Thoughts of disconnection and disempowerment reflect inner feelings of disconnection and disempowerment. And when you hold a feeling, you know that you also create that feeling. You create how you live in the presence of that feeling. You create how that feeling is producing thought, which amplifies the feeling. Deep internal layers of feelings are being amplified right now for the purpose of intentional thought. We are intentional beings. We allow and we resist. And that's the beauty of a human experience, that we can call forth things into our existence and also deny things. But at some point in time, we must be mindful enough to understand that the things that we call forth and the things that we deny are all reflections of ourselves. And our ability to physically experience all of this becomes our ability to fully know ourselves. If you're truthful and honest with yourself, you can become inundated with a perception of a reality that is also truthful and honest. But if you choose to stifle your truths and ignore your honesty, you will become inundated with a perception of a reality that is also ignorant and stifling. This new moon of August is shifting layers deep, deep, deep within, much like tectonic plates shift in the midst of an earthquake. And the earthquake is simply a release of layers long forgotten. The center of your energy is harnessing truth, authenticity, and honesty, but it must discharge all layers that bind it, which include disempowerment, distrust, dishonesty, and inauthenticity. Your truth is rising, and many people will ask, but what is my truth? Your truth rises as avenues of certainty, clarity in moments that define the steps that you are taking. And even in moments of no clarity or uncertainty, inner truth is the avenue that holds your trust in yourself, your trust in your path, your trust in the potential of your experience. When you make choices or decisions that perpetuate inner disempowerment and go against the inner callings of who you truly are in that moment, you are pushing your truth further away from yourself. And this specific time is a culmination of all the times that you have done that before. It will show you where you can no longer push your truth away. So, with this August new moon, take these 3 things into consideration. Number 1, take inventory of your path. Take a look around you and become very aware of what decisions have brought you to this point here and now. Were they decisions that have come from you, or decisions that came from someone else or somewhere else? Were you certain in the decisions that you made? Were you in clarity? Were you in alignment? And this does not only occur with decisions as you take inventory of your path, but this also applies to feeling. If there was a situation, for example, that created steps to where you are right now, did you feel empowered by that situation, or did you feel disempowered? Be willing to identify where your feelings stem from that put you where you are today. The second thing to consider with this August new moon is to be in alignment with your intuition or your inner callings. Cleaning up the vibration or the entanglement of energy that you hold within, which includes your energy entangled with many other energies that you might be holding on to, all starts with you reclaiming your power so that your steps forward are always taken in alignment with you. You know your inner callings and what they feel like, and you know when you are receiving intuition about something. Learn to put that first and follow them instead of questioning or doubting them. This step really takes into consideration the ability to honor your energy. Of course, you want to be able to honor other people's energy, but in order to do so, you must first be able to honor your own energy. So at this time, very much consider in what ways are you honoring your energy and in what ways are you not honoring your energy? In what ways are you respecting your inner callings and honoring those inner callings? And in what ways are you not respecting, not following, and not honoring those inner callings and inner intuition? This is all about strengthening who you truly are. And to strengthen who you truly are means that you can show up into the world and for other people from that strengthened place rather than a disempowered place. The third thing to consider with this new moon of August is that you are not your thoughts, but your thoughts become you. This is a time to reevaluate self-identity based upon your thoughts. Be careful to identify where your thoughts lead you to think who you are. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are a reflection of your deep inner energy, vibration, and feeling. Now, you are your inner energy, vibration, and feeling, but thoughts, which reflect that inner energy, vibration, and feeling, often then refract and distort those very energies, vibrations, and feelings, because it is often then refract and distort those inner energies, vibrations, and feelings into something else, into something that it is not, or into something that you are not. This is because thoughts are a very simple surface level identification of something much more complex and much deeper than where a thought is able to go. So a thought interprets this much deeper energy based upon surface level things that it understands and it knows in the mind space. However, the mind space is often clouded with a lot of illusionary senses of self and illusionary perceptions of reality. So the way that thoughts are perceiving much deeper energy, vibration, and feeling will then be interpreted through that false lens. Therefore, you are not your thoughts. But as you have thoughts, your body picks up on the vibration of those thoughts and therefore adds more amplification to it. So you then become your thoughts. So it's important to be careful and aware of where your thoughts are, so that instead of just sitting on a surface level thought, you allow for thoughts to be doorways towards deeper self-discovery in order to prevent your thoughts from feeding distorted energy, which then leads to distorted self-identity and a distorted sense of self. Creativity and inspiration come alive through clarity and confirmation. This August new moon is making space for creativity, rebirth, and growth on much deeper levels, more aligned with the higher self and inner truth. You must be willing to let go of seeds of disempowerment, victimhood, and powerlessness in order to truly and fully embody and come to know your true self.